Yeah, in this article, we'll be looking at witnessing the remorse of a secessionist. Igboho and Nnamdi KANU, their counterparts, they have really tried and clamored for good governance. In absence of good governance, they decided to clamor for secession, which is dividing from the country. Yoruba nation says they should give them their own nation and republic. Nnamdi KANU, the other part of the Eastern Security Network, and the Igbos says Biafra is what they follow. This country seems to be permanently living with many thousand secessionist propaganda. Only last week, during the trial of the chieftain of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi KANU, the media was surfaced with disinformation also emanating from the usual crowd of separatists, completed with a lockdown on some states of the southeast. Yes, I wish many of those who have involved or have indulged themselves in lockdown also will complete that, and also it does not affect their economy. As it is, I would say the trial of Nnamdi KANU, the media was surfaced with this information emanating from the usual crowd of separatists, complete with a lockdown on some states of the southeast. I wish many of those with that mindset had the experience of Ambassador Dennis Ukume in the line of duty. The ambassador had the unique experience as our envoy to Ivory Coast in 1983 to champion and also remorseful act secessionist Chukwuemeka Dumegu Ojukwu back to his fatherland after he was pardoned by President Shehu Shagari as then. This much he disclosed in his memo, also titled. It says that I happened to be present at the launching of the book that took place about a month ago at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Since I attended the ceremony for two reasons. Yes, firstly, Ambassador Ukume was a pioneer student of Government College, the KEFI, in the first set that began in 1949. I attended the college many years later in the mid-90s and also 1960. That set of 1949 actually began in Kaduna, because facilities in rustic curfew were not ready yet. They remained in Kaduna for so long and only moved to curfew in 1955. Their final year, almost all his classmates have gone back to our Mecca. It would probably be the last man standing in their set and found it proper to accord him that respect by attending the celebration of his life. Secondly, one of the books Ambassador Ukume was launching in his memo titled Belief, which would be of great interest, particularly because of the eventful days he spent as Nigeria's envoy to Ivory Coast and his involvement in the saga that brought Odumegu Ojukwu back to Nigeria from exile. As I found out, the book is small and a page thinner, which a determined reader could go through in a sitting. The book chronicled his life from birth in 1938 in Igboho. Yes, I would say that should be in Benue State, the traditional capital of the Chief nation. So the journeys he undertook in the effort to acquire Western education away from home. After secondary school, he found employment in Northern Nigerian Ministry of Information. Incidentally, alongside, yes, this is where this secession story is going to be very much interesting. Incidentally, alongside Muhammadu Uwais, later Chief Justice of the Federation, Kaluma Ali, Minister of Mineral Resources, Masido Dalaf, Kaduna State Head of Service, and later Minister of Police Affairs. He had a memorable time working in the Ministry of Information, then run by Ahmed Joda, as permanent secretary. In the course of duty, he was privileged many times to travel touring with the Sardauna Ahmadu Bello, Premier of Northern Nigeria. Also, he wrote quite often I had enjoyed the rare privilege of traveling with the Southerner in his official ultra-modern American-made Cadillac limousine as he toured various parts of the region. I would take the front seat by the driver, while Al-Haji Yusuf Gobe, the Premier's principal private secretary, would join him in the back seat. In due course, the ministry gave him a Northern Nigeria scholarship to study journalism in the United Kingdom. At graduation, he was posted to the High Commission in London as a senior information officer in the Northern Nigeria Agent General Office. When the Civil War started, he was recalled to the ministry and was very much involved in the war effort. Well, he was a secretary of the Publicity Committee of the War Council, as well as manning the research department of the ministry, a job that many times took him to the rear commands of the war zone. A few years after he left the service for the greener pastures of the private sector, he worked with the Nigerian Airways in the 1970s, and also on return of political activities in the late 1970s, he jumped into the National Party of Nigeria, NPN, perhaps due to his closeness to Joseph Taraka, a juggernaut of the party. He was appointed the National Administrative Secretary of the NPN, from whence he got deeply involved in the Shehu Shagari presidential campaign. President Shehu Shagari took special note of him during the campaigns, and when appointing ambassadors, he purposely assigned him to Ivory Coast, where Ojukwu lived in exile after the Biafran misadventure. Ojukwu had made prior contacts with the president, and the special assignment of Ambassador Ukume at the Ivory Coast was to conclude and also safely bring back Ojukwu to Nigeria. It was an assignment that took months to accomplish, and Ambassador Ukume weathered lots of intrigues, particularly by those who did not want Ojukwu to renounce secession. Okay, not to mind Ojukwu not to renounce secession. I would say secession has been for a while before Nnamdi KANU of Sunday Igboho, started clamoring for a renewal. In all his interactions with Ojukwu, I found him profoundly contrite. Ambassador Ukume wrote, "My first meeting with the ex-Biafran leader was on a floating restaurant on the lagoon in Abidjan. I had requested his wife Stella to bring him to lunch. A memorable meeting which became emotional as Ojukwu wept on my shoulders. He appeared to be extremely sorry for causing the deaths of innocent citizens. As we related frequently with each other, I was convinced that he was indeed remorseful for what he had done. I sought permission and issued him with a Nigerian passport." Well, according to this storyline, Ojukwu was sorry. I don't really believe that, because as it is today, what Nnamdi KANU and the Sunday Igboho are clamoring for is good governance. So there shouldn't be any blackmail here to tell Nigerians that what Nnamdi KANU and the Sunday Igboho are doing is wrong. No, they are representing Nigerians, you and I. Inflation year and year, as you can see. Things you buy for 200 naira as per 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, you are not buying it times 3 times 4 as 1,000 naira. So if Nnamdi KANU and Sunday Igboho are speaking for you and I, you should know that they are saying the truth. Well, the memo reveals a lot more, but this much knowledge should be brought to the notice of these later days, according to what has been written here. But I believe God is in infinite mercy as the control of Nigeria. If whether we like it or not, definitely God's words will prevail. Like I usually say, that we only adopted democracy from the United States, but we are not practicing what they are practicing, except we want to go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to 1960 so that we can adopt the parliamentary system of governance that was released for us. Yes, this is Independent TV 7. I would like you to share your views in the comment section. Thanks for listening, and God bless you.